I decided, with the arrogance of a teenager, that I could confront him with my opening novelty, a prepared variation. But I guess Pavlenko was in a hurry to punish me for my arrogance, and so he made a mistake, blunder.
You are listening to Kasparovchess.com podcast, episode 5.
In October 1975, I appeared for the first time under the surname Kasparov. And I also achieved my first success
Kasparov, пройдя через потрясение и невероятные трудности первого матча,
adult competition.
подошел закаленным бойцом.
In Baku, I won the so-called City Cup. It was a knockout tournament with a new experimental time control. 1 hour for the entire game, 1 hour for each player. It was one of the initiatives of great chess innovator David Bronstein. And at the time, we didn't have any increments. And I think the initiative was not well received. It didn't last for long. But from 1973 to 1976, I think there were quite a few tournaments played around the Soviet Union. And local chess authorities in Baku decided that it was just a good time control to entertain younger players, to play as the knockout tournament with 128 contestants. And there were strongest first category players, candidate master. And to everybody's surprise, we got one master who joined the tournament, entered this competition at the very last moment. It was the number 2 in the Azerbaijan Republic team, Master Oleg Pavlenko. Well, he was experienced, and I guess his motivation was just to have an easy win and just to add this trophy to his collection. And almost everybody believed that the fate of the event has been already decided. So Pavlenko was number 2 after Vladimir Bagirov, who was a leader of our Azerbaijan team for a very long time. So we all played these mini matches of 2 games. And in case of tie, 1-1, the 2 additional 5-minute games were played. As a matter of fact, I don't remember what would be the tie-break in case of 1-1, because I don't think the concept of Armageddon was yet introduced. But I did not need these tie breaks. All my matches, and there were 7, I won by 1.5 to half or 2-0. So I qualified to the final. There were a couple of tough matches, but I didn't experience really just great challenges. And in the final, I had to face Oleg Pavlenko. He was 33-year-old. He was a heavily built man. And compared to me, I mean, he was a generally big chess player by size, by experience, by reputation. Yeah. And I also have to say that he had another habit that sounds odd to young players. He was smoking incessantly during the game, one cigarette after another. And I decided, with the arrogance of a teenager, that I could confront him with my opening novelty, a prepared variation. And in our first game, as soon as my opponent picked up a cigarette and just put it in his mouth, lighting it, I immediately took from my pocket some chewing gum, removed its wrapper, and shoved it in my mouth and began vigorously chewing So I think it had some effect on him because it was beyond being audacious. It was a challenge. And I think it's probably influenced Pavlenko's very erratic play in the first game, where he got very quickly excellent position, maybe even a winning position, because I was not familiar with this line in King's Indian, though it carried the name of Vladimir Makagonov. The system with h3 and bishop e3. And I also have to say that Makagonov was one of the persons who helped me to improve my chess. We spent numerous hours working on some of the openings and some of the strategic ideas that the man of his experience could share with a young talent. So he never, achieved great heights in professional chess, but everybody had tremendous respect for him, and he was considered to be one of the great thinkers and positional players in the Soviet Union.
Поразил уровень шахматной подготовки зрителей в СССР.
Though I got a pretty, bad position in the opening, but I played quickly. I didn't care very much, so I had some maybe counterplay. But the climax happened when Pavlenko, playing also very quickly, blundered the piece. So I understand it was a fast chess, but still it's probably unexcusable for a player of his caliber just to play knight f5 to move 18. Simple move with rook from d1, rook dg1, vacating d1 square for the knight, and killing black's counterplay would suffice, and black position was completely lost. But I guess Pavlenko was in a hurry to punish me for my arrogance, and so he made a mistake, blunder. And I immediately picked up this piece. And though White had some chances to complicate the game, so he missed them, and eventually I just, I managed to win the game.
First game.
And the second one, he desperately tried to recover. In drawish endgame, I made a blunder, and he had an extra piece, but I played very creatively and saved the game. And to my surprise, to surprise of everybody, I won this event. And it was a really good sign. First time Garry Kasparov played in a serious competition. I won it. And I thought it was a good sign and a good push for the future. Especially because soon after this tournament, we had to go to Leningrad.
Где состоялось открытие матча на звание чемпиона мира по шахматам.
Another edition of Pioneer versus Grandmasters tournament, where I had to lead my team into the second final that we qualified there last summer. And I knew that it would be a tougher event than Moscow 1974 when I played first time with our team, because there were high expectations. And I also knew that Anatoly Karpov and his rival Viktor Korchnoi, they both would be there. So I was heading for Leningrad, expecting to demonstrate my newly acquired chess skills.